Morning.
How is
We
how is
begin with the
how is
passive voice. Last time we did exercise A, B, and C. Now today we begin with the passive voice where it is used. So on the screen you see this heading which we will take up. Now the areas where passive voice turns out to be very effective. In a sentence, we use the passive voice firstly when we want to focus our attention on the object of a thing being talked of. Sorry. Like they have told you that Sheila invited her to the party. Now, here Sheila is the subject, invited verb, and her is the object. That means Sheila has invited her. Now, if we want emphasis on her, then we will change it into passive voice, and the passive form would be she was invited to the party by Sheila. Clear? She was invited to the party by Sheila. So then it turns into a passive voice. So when the doer, the subject, sorry, when the subject, verb, and the object are in proper order, then it is active. But when we take the object being talked of as a subject, then it is a passive voice. So at times we need to emphasize the action. So the doer, the uh, object, then we put up the passive sentence and we basically use the passive voice. Then number two, when narrating an incident or event. Now, whenever we are telling out an event, narrating an event, in those times we often use passive voice. Then number three, when describing a social or a historical incident. Whenever a social incident or any historical incident is told, then we mention in a passive voice nearly most of the times. Then number four, for making requests and invitations. Whenever we are requesting for something or whenever we are throwing an invitation. Now, for the written part, see that you only write the one-liners of these. Okay, for the first one, you will write focus attention on person or thing affected by the action. Then leave 2 3 lines. You will see, however, if you want to focus on the person or thing affected by the action, you make the person or thing the subject of the sentence and use the passive voice. So in the first one, you will only write this from however. Okay, you will only write this till here. Okay, in the second sentence, just this one liner. In the third one, just this one liner. Fourth one, this liner, and here. Just the one liners without the examples. So let's read the fifth one. For making announcements, like whatever announcement you make, that is to be made in a passive voice. Yeah. Then as we move on to the next heading, we come across the sixth one for giving warnings, advice, and suggestions. Whenever we need to give any warning or advice or suggestion, we then use a passive voice too. Just as we use it for any announcement, just as we use for any request and invitation, we use it also for any suggestion, warning, and advice. So just the sixth heading only you write. Then number seven, please switch off the mic. Number six, number seven, number eight, number nine, number 10, number 11. Just the headings. So, number seven, when writing a notice, whenever we are writing a notice, it is in a passive voice. Then, number eight, for newspaper headlines are often written in the passive voice with the missing helping verbs. Example, they have shown you Hollywood actor Paul Walker killed in car crash. So here the Hollywood actor Paul Walker was killed in a car crash. Note the article the is missing, is missing, and the verb was are missing in the headlines, but the meaning is conveyed to you. Yeah. So coming to the ninth one, for eighth one also, just give the headlines, just give the heading only. For newspaper headlines, uh, often are often written in the passive voice with the missing helping verb. Then coming on to nine, when it is obvious to the listener or reader who the agent is, that means who's the doer of the action is. If it is understood, we most of the time miss it out. So, number 10, when it is not important to know who is the agent. So, at times, it is not important for us to know who the agent is. Do you want a lift? Now, who this do you is? You is not mentioned कि किसको हम lift दे रहे हैं. So, at that time, we miss out the agent. Then, number 10, when people in general are the agents, when we are talking of people in general. Okay, so these are the 11 cases where you use the passive voice. All these headings will turn more clear when we do this D exercise. Okay, now hold a pencil in your hand and be very alert. Change the voice of the verb from passive to active in the following sentences. The plants are watered every day by the gardener. Now we have to make this an active voice. So the answer would be the gardener watered the plants every day. I repeat, the gardener watered the plants every day. Number two, the Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Now the answer, Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. Now here the Mona Lisa, I forgot to write the. Please do write the. Why? Because we are not talking of a proper noun Mona Lisa here as a person, but we are talking about the painting which Leonardo da Vinci had painted. Okay, so the answer would be Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. I forgot to write the here. If you see the book, okay. Next, number three. Raj was laughed at by all his friends. Now, to change it into active, all of Raj's friends, all of Raj's friends laughed at him. All of Raj's friends laughed at him. Put a tick mark. We'll do this exercise in the copy. We'll do this sentence in the copy. Then number four, the Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan. Now, active form answer is Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal. Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal. Number five, the old man was knocked down by a car. Answer, a car knocked down the old man. A car knocked down the old man. Number six, one's character is revealed by one's manners and actions. Now, answer, one's manners and actions reveal one's character. Reveal one's character. Number seven, the patient was attended to by the doctor. Answer, the doctor attended the patient. The doctor attended the patient. Number 8, the poor should be helped. Now the answer, active voice, we should help the poor. Now here, if you see the poor should be helped, actually the doer is missing. The doer is missing. It should be the. Is it done? Please switch off your mic. Children, who is the one? The poor should be helped. Actually, it should be by us, but actually, by us is missing. Why? Because it doesn't need an agent to be mentioned. So, the active voice would be we should help the poor. Put a tick mark on A8. We'll be doing 8 in the copies. Question number 9. Many colorful pictures are found in comic books. Now, write down the answer correctly. We found we found many colorful pictures in the comic book. We found many colorful pictures in the comic book. Number 10. What cannot be cured must be endured. Answer. We must endure. We must endure what cannot be cured. We must endure what cannot be cured. Here they give you study this table to understand how interrogative sentences are changed into passive voice. So active, do they watch television every evening? So passive, is television watched by them every evening? Then active, who ate my chocolate? Now passive, by whom was my chocolate eaten? Then when will they announce the result of the lucky draw? Passive, when will the result of the lucky draw be announced by them? Now, by them is not necessary at times, so you can skip that also in a sentence when you're doing it in passive voice. Next, why did your father punish you? Answer, passive voice. Why were you punished by your father? Okay, next question. Did you see the thief? Was the thief seen by you? So now you know how the active and passive voices change. Last, can an anaconda swallow a man? Can a man be swallowed by an anaconda? So these are the active and passive when you're dealing with an interrogative sentence. Okay. Now note, in the active voice, the subject is the doer of the action. Next, in the passive voice, the subject is the receiver of the action. Next, an interrogative sentence retains its interrogative form when converted into the passive voice. So you can see that interrogative question, that means one which is in this interrogative sentences, one which is asking question. So whether it is in active voice, whether it is in passive, the questioning attitude of that interrogative sentence remains. Okay. Now we come on to the E exercise. The following paragraph has not been edited. There's an error in each line. Identify the error, write it, and its correction. So the first one, yesterday a UFO is seen in the eastern sky over Kolkata. So now yesterday they are talking, that means past. And then they are using is here. So is seen will be underline is and the correction is was seen. Okay. Please put a tick mark on this sentence. You will do just the way it is given here. Then number 2, people are terrified on seeing it and started running helter shelter. So now again underline are and it will be were. people were terrified. Then, 3, the UFO is seen hovering over some office complexes for a while and then taking off towards the river Ganga. So it is underlined is and it is was. Then number 4, the UFO is spotted by people in launches and boats on the river, and there was a huge hue and cry. Underline is and write there was. Then number 6, then it picked up speed and is lost to view. Underline is and it will be was. Clear? Now E exercise 1 and 2 you will do. D exercise 3 and 8 you will do. Okay? And for these ticked sentences, you will do them. Clear? These 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just the one liners you'll do in your copies. I hope I'm clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's it. And thank you once again for helping me. It was very urgent that I had to take this class delayed. Thank you.